This connection, though. Was the drop shot necessary? That would be the type of dude to uppercut a fucking baby dolphin.
Alright. I tweeted the gem.
This is the guy's tweet right here. I'm gonna favorite it.
Oh.
That noise. So recently I've been trying to delve into a little bit more of cooking. I realize as a 21-year-old man, I'm gonna have to learn how to cook more than fucking ramen noodles. And with me learning how to cook these new foods and things like that, I've also looked up foods that I never even knew existed, let alone be food that people actually eat on a normal basis. I didn't even know fried pickles was a thing. When I brought that up to people, they were like, oh,
yeah, dude, clearly, yeah, they're fucking real. I eat those all the time, dude. You never had them?
there are a lot of things that I haven't had, okay? And if I went down the list, much respect would be lost for me. I've never been an adventurous person as far as food goes. Like, I always ate the same thing all the fucking time, and I never made it differently in any other way. Like, for example, I won't eat hot dogs unless they're boiled. I won't fuck with a stove. I won't fuck with anything like that. I'll only have it boiled. No microwave, nothing. That's just an example. Now, with me messing around with all this food stuff, I went on the internet looking at all these different recipes and all the different exotic foods and shit of the world. And then I started going into food challenges somehow. Like, dude eats 50 bananas in 10 minutes type of shit. I'm not really the type of person to try new things. That goes for food, that goes for a lot of things with me. And it's for good reason, because every single time that I decide to go out of my way to try something new, it's always the worst fucking thing ever. Like, for example, one time when I worked at my old job, I ended up working with this guy, this Australian dude. He was a big motherfucker. He was like 6'4", 250 something pounds. The dude was a complete badass. He told me stories all the time in his awesome ass Australian accent. Talked about all these stories when he like used to work on this farm and he would sit there and wrestle around with animals and shit. Now, I know that sounds like some Steve Irwin shit, and that's just stereotypical things for Australians, apparently. I don't believe that every Australian is some sort of fucking crocodile hunter, but this guy actually was. He's actually shown me scars and shit where like he's gotten bitten by certain animals. He had like a big old gash in his side that he showed me from when he got into some sort of accident. Dude was a complete badass. So working at my old job in the factory and everything, everybody was all hot, sweaty and everything, and we would always normally eat lunch together. Well, kind of at our stations. It's a little separated, but people are talking, bullshitting and stuff. It's break time. Now one day I'm just relaxed and just sitting there eating my sandwich, watching a YouTube video or something. During this break, the Australian guy just comes to me and he goes,
Hey, you want to try this?
I'm not gonna do the accent because I don't want to disgrace all Australians. You have too awesome of a fucking accent for me to even destroy it. So I'm just gonna stick with my stupid American accent. So this Australian guy just sits there and asks me, he goes, hey, you want to try some? And he holds out this jar, this brown jar. Or it was a clear jar and it just had like brown stuff in it. And I was like, what is it? He goes, it's Vegemite. And I've heard this stuff about this Vegemite stuff. And I didn't really know what Vegemite was. Everybody just kept saying it's disgusting, it's awful, and all this other stuff. And this guy, I've noticed that every single day, this dude was just sitting there, he would just grab a piece of bread, just slap some Vegemite on it, you just eat it. You'd eat it like every other normal spread. And I looked at it, I was like, there's no way that this guy could sit there and eat this stuff every single day so calmly without any like change of look on his face. He didn't think it was disgusting. It didn't seem like it was something that you would have to have an acquired taste for. Now apparently there's different types of Vegemites. I don't know what kind I had. I don't know what it was. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it, sure, yeah, I'll have it. And God, was that a mistake. So he pulled out a piece of bread, he brought out the Vegemite, and he told me, he goes, here, smell it. It's like he was trying to warn me, like, this stuff is awful. And I was just being really optimistic about it. He was like,
you know, it's actually an acquired taste.
Okay, that probably means that it's going to taste like shit. But I was still open to it. I was like, it cannot be that bad. Maybe I'll actually like it. He scoops it out of the jar, spreads it over the bread, and he hands it to me. I take a bite of this Vegemite, and that was one of the worst fucking things I have ever tasted in my 21 years of existence. Well, technically, that would have been like 19 years. It was so disgusting. Like, if you've never had Vegemite before, I'm gonna try my best to describe how it tasted. At first, when I took a bite, it was almost like a jelly. It was almost like, it was very soft, it was fine. And I moved it around in my tongue, and I just kept chewing, and I kept moving my tongue around and rubbing it against the roof of my mouth to get a good taste of the shit. Its texture changed from a jelly to almost like a fucking grain. It had this yeasty slash plant-like slash really salty fucking taste to it. And the weird part about it was initially it wasn't salty. It was like the aftertaste was salty. Oh, it was so fucking gross. Dude, my stomach is grumbling just thinking about it. It was like drinking a tall glass of milk with a pound of fucking sand at the bottom of it. It was so smooth coming in, and then it just Now again, I have no idea what type of Vegemite it was. Maybe it was expired. Maybe I just had a bad fucking experience. I don't know if I'm describing this accurately whatsoever. All of the people that have tried Vegemite or even like Vegemite, they might be face palming right now, but it is definitely one of the most disgusting fucking things I've ever tasted in my life. I'm actually mad at myself for being so opportunistic about trying this bullshit, but other things I won't even dare to try. Did you know that I didn't try Wendy's until I was 18? I still haven't had Five Guys. I still haven't had Chipotle. I'm sorry to all you Chipotle enthusiasts out there. Your minds are fucking blown right now. You think I'm a fucking freak. But I live in the middle of East McBumble ass cheeks. The nearest Chipotle to me is over 1 hour away. The direction that Chipotle is in an area of New Jersey that I really don't want to travel to. I ain't about to drive all the way up there and then get shot for a couple of fucking Doritos. It's not happening.